10 live wires will be given a unique opportunity to share their creativity with the world and become the next top live wire. I'm your host, Heather Boyd Wire, and this is Live Wires for the Win. 8 weeks of wire art challenges will count down to one winner of the grand prize, a collaboration video on my YouTube channel, a $100 gift certificate for my Etsy shop, and $500 worth of wire and tools from Beadalon. This is an elimination series with a twist. Viewers will be able to participate in the weekly challenges, share photos of their work, and win great prizes. Your judges will be wire artist Heather Boyd, multimedia artist and author Patricia Srigley, and a weekly mystery judge. Let's meet this week's live wires. Leslie, Amy, Tim, Linda, Peggy, Melody, Amber. So guys, welcome to week 4 of Live Wires for the Win. And today we have a special guest with us. First, I'd like to introduce, as always, Patricia, guest judge, Patricia Srigley, our author artist. Welcome back. Thank you so much. And this week we have Laura, who is our guest judge. Now, Laura has her own YouTube channel called We Met Wire Work, and she does all kinds of really cool, large-scale wire sculptures and all kinds of different, like jewelry, all kinds of things on her channel. You can check out her YouTube channel, her website, Instagram, Facebook. And so Laura, say hello to the crew.
Hi, thanks so much for inviting me to do this, Heather. I'm really excited by the projects that are being presented today. So yeah, very excited to be here. So thanks.
Oh, I'm so happy you're here. And so without further ado, we'll just get started. And as always, we had some amazing submissions. Everybody has such incredible imagination. This week's theme was called All Over the Map. A few people struggled a little bit with this theme. Sometimes with the themes, they're very open-ended, but some are a little more difficult than others. But the results were so imaginative and so fun. So let's get into it and have a look at all the entries. So the first one we have is Amy.
Hi, I'm doing a model of a game board made from wire about Lake Michigan, and it's called Travel Trivia. The object is to move your foot to each destination by answering the questions right on trivia. Winner gets to swim in Lake Michigan. I took pictures of work that is done. This is a start, and use the footprints to move the board. This is Holland in the festival. This is the paths in Lake Michigan. You take paths to the lake. This is sailing. This is lighthouse. You can see the lighthouses. And this is fishing. And this is camping. This is the cards to my game. This is the spinner. It spins. This is the game piece, the game board. And in the caption, I'll tell you how to play.
Now, Amy, as you heard from her description of her work, she did a board game. And how about I'll start with this one, and then we're just going to take turns going first, talking about the work. And as always, Amy has an incredible imagination. I'm always so impressed with everything that she does. She seems to download these ideas, she just like spark of an idea and comes up with these beautiful concepts. Her piece was so intricate, so many different elements of the piece. You really felt like you could just get in there and play the game. And I think that totally fits the theme of All Over the Map, in a sense that you're actually literally like going around the game when you play the game. And so all the elements were so well thought out. I used to make little board games when I was a kid, so it just brought out the kid in me and remembering doing that. And I thought it was really fun to have this like functional art piece that looked like an art piece as well. And yeah, the only thing that I would have maybe liked to see was maybe see it on a more finished base, like possibly think about attaching some of the pieces in a more stable position, but that would just be like next level, you know. I think as an art piece as a whole, like it's super interesting, and I really liked her piece for sure. So Patricia, what did you think of Amy's piece?
Yeah, same as you. I'm always impressed with her ideas. They're very unique, and this one was as well. And, you know, it was ambitious how many pieces that she made to make this game work. So yeah, it was very impressive.
Nice. Yeah, so many pieces. And Laura, so new to the whole challenge. What did you think of Amy's piece?
Well, you know, I opened up the clip that she sent, and literally the first thing that came out of my mouth was, wow, what a cool concept.
Yes.
Like really, I was just like, wow, this is wonderful. So good job, Amy. I think it's a really great concept. And as Heather said, maybe a little bit more time, you know, being able to develop it. And I think you really are onto something here. I think it's absolutely charming. A really great use of color, and I loved your footprints. I thought that was wonderful.
I love those too. Yeah, I love those footprints. Yeah, it really takes you into the piece.
Totally. Yeah, totally. No, it's super cute.
This is my symbolic map of Florida, starting with the sun setting behind a palm tree, Mickey Mouse in the middle, a fossilized shark's tooth, which we find at the beach where I live, a flip-flop, because that's what we wear year-round, a dolphin, and a starfish from the beach.
So the next one we have is Linda, and Linda did a map of the state of Florida. And how about Patricia, you start with this one.
Okay. Yeah, again, really great idea. And she really caught the concept with her take on the map of Florida, and including, you know, the things people think of when they think of Florida, like Mickey Mouse and all the other things. And yeah, no, I thought she did a really good job on this challenge.
Nice. And Laura, what did you think of Linda's piece?
Well, this definitely feels tropical to me, which we appreciate coming from Canada.
Yes.
So the flip-flop I found especially sweet. It is my footwear of choice, and I wear it until the snow is too deep for me to tiptoe through. So yay, flip-flops.
Yeah.
But your color palette is limited, though the concept is very cohesive, and your subject matter is very identifiable. So we look at it and we know with Mickey Mouse, with the palm trees, the dolphins, etc., that this is your concept. This is the idea behind your piece. So it shows really well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I thought her piece was really fun. You know, it kind of reminded me of those old postcards you used to get in the 70s. You'd like drive around. They probably still have them, and they've got the map of the state with all the little icons on it type of thing. It kind of made me think about that. And I don't think it's in the actual shape of the state of Florida, but that might have been interesting too, to have it in the actual shape of the state. But I mean, optional. She's got her own shape going there. But I would say the only thing, because it's incredibly well made, so beautifully solid, and so many details. I just found my eye going just to Mickey Mouse, you know, and I found that a little bit distracting. You know, maybe if she had stylized it a little bit more to make it not so much detail, so your eye goes more around the whole piece, that would be my only like little critique about it. But other than that, I thought it was like super well made and really fun, for sure. Very fun. Yeah.
I think she did base it loosely on the map of Florida.
So it was, I wasn't sure if it was the shape or not. Okay, that's cool.
It was loosely based on it, yes.
Nice.
All over the map charm bracelet, and it's because we travel to go see our children all over the map. So There's a person and a car and sunglasses and an airplane and a camera.
Let's go over to Melody. So Melody made the charm bracelet with all the little icons, and it was inspired by her travels to see her kids. I thought that was super sweet. Yeah. So, but Laura, why don't you talk about Melody's work first?
Well, I love the backstory with it representing you having to travel to see your children. I think that's absolutely wonderful idea behind it. And I really like your use of color. So between, your beads and I mean, your sunglasses rock. They're wonderful. They're really lovely. But I had trouble identifying what your charms were until you actually explained that that's what they were. So, but that may very well have just been the video that you took as well, right? So,
yeah.
Although once it was laid out on the table, then, I could definitely see that it was the sunglasses, a little person and an airplane. And so well done. The charms are super, super cute. So if I had any critique, that's what it would be, is that, that maybe they could be tweaked a little bit just to make them more identifiable. But great job. It's really lovely.
Yeah, just maybe a little bit more defined. Sometimes the images in the video aren't, always clear, and that's sometimes a little bit unfortunate, but we do our best to, decipher what we see in the images, and for sure. For sure. Yeah. I thought Melody's was super fun. I love that it was a bracelet. It was something a little different that we haven't seen before. She did a great job on her charms because, knowing how difficult it is to make a charm bracelet that looks like solid, because you could do wire outlines, but it doesn't have the same effect as those chunky, really solid charms that you see on charm bracelets. But I thought she did a fabulous job of making them look like really nice chunky charms, and they almost like they look 3D, like you could little teeny little sculptures on the bracelet type of thing. So yeah, I loved it. I thought it was super fun and so meaningful, with her, for her travels for her kids and stuff. Yeah, super, super cool. And Patricia, what did you think of Melody's bracelet?
You could have been reading my notes with what you said. Yeah, I loved her idea. And I felt that, a lot of people, when they travel, they do collect those little charm souvenirs. And so it is like your travel map, and it's your memories. And yeah, I thought she did a really good job. And I had especially noted how I liked that they were solid, like the charms were very solid little pieces, and it seemed very wearable. So, yeah, I thought she did a really good job, and I liked her idea.
Hi guys, Tim here. Week 4's topic is all over the map, and I'm going to try to interpret part of the map aspect and see if I can make the compass point feature that's normally on a map. We'll see if it works later.
So now we're going to go to Tim's work. So Tim he did a little explanation. So Tim did the compass, which is more like sort of a medallion style compass. Patricia, do you want to start with Tim's?
I'm always impressed with his work. It's really well done. And again, it always has a solid feel to it. And again, he's done it this week, and I loved his idea. The workmanship was beautiful. Yeah, it was a very beautiful finished piece, and I liked his idea. So yeah, great job.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Tim definitely has a very distinctive style. It shows in all his work in the challenge and in the work he shares in the Wire Makers Club. And yeah, it definitely fits the theme of all over the map with the compass, well made, nice variety of, tones of wire. The only thing I would say is it's a little bit similar to some of his previous pieces in the challenge. And it would be interesting to see him sort of changing it up a little bit, just to maybe challenge himself to do things like a little bit more differently, whether it be adding some, different gauges of wire or slightly different style, but, without changing his basic style. But I thought as a piece fitting the theme, it was, it totally worked for sure. And Laura, what did you think of Tim's piece?
It's beautiful. It's really lovely. I'll definitely have to have a peek so that I am more familiar with his previous work, because it's really quite lovely. Individual pieces are very well developed. I think maybe a little bit more color would have been nice to see. And his N symbol for the north is really great. But I think for those that aren't familiar with the compass rose, maybe just the addition of the, the other directional letters might have been a nice addition to that as well. But it's truly lovely. It's a very, very nice piece of wire art.
So next we have Peggy. So Peggy starts out by saying, this theme was hard. At first, I had no idea what to do for it. So I sat down and thought about it. I wanted to make a US map and fill in the states where family live, but I tried and kept messing up. I decided to spend the first hour of the day writing or sketching every thought that popped in my head. The anxiety PTSD part of me always has a million scattered thoughts. So I figured scattered equals all over the map. Wake up, look out the window and see evergreen trees, flowers. I want a coffee. I'm in Washington. I'm so tired. Zzz. I can hear the cats fighting and the dog huffing and puffing in the yard. I hear of my friend's dog passing away. My nephew wakes up and asks for milk and wants to watch Mickey Mouse. I can hear my brother play music on his phone and it makes me think of swirls going around. It was the first day of school and I pray it goes well. I look out the window and try to calm my mind and see a dragonfly zooming around. Now, how am I going to put all this together? Is it enough? My days are always all over the map. This was even before my mom woke up and I had to help her out. So interesting backstory to the piece. I love that. And I really love that Peggy just sat down sort of in meditation and let the ideas come to her, because sometimes when we try to push ideas, force ideas, we hit these creative blocks, but she had a really lovely approach to it, just to sort of like sit, calm herself down and let the ideas come. And I love what she came up with. I think it's a super fun concept. She really, just kind of, it totally fits the theme all over the map in that sort of as an idiom, all over the map when your mind is scattered. I could totally relate to that. And as always, Peggy's pieces are so lovely, so well crafted and really beautiful. And I think the only thing I thought when I saw it is it might have been nice to have more of like maybe an outline around the whole thing to bring it all together. I even envisioned maybe like an outline of a brain, or even the outline of her face, a silhouette of her head with this, all inside. Might have been kind of fun, but like totally optional. It's just what popped in my mind when I saw the piece. But the elements themselves are really lovely, and I just love the whole story behind it. I love the way she wrote it too. It was well written as well. Yeah. So Laura, what did you think of Peggy's piece?
Yes, I agree with everything that you said. It's charming. It's quite a lovely piece and very personal,
Yes.
So sometimes we feel like we're taking a big risk when we put that out there. So, good for you, because that can be difficult to do. And it translated beautifully. And I think the only thing that I'm missing is a little bit more color. You have that great tree, and your eye goes to it, right? And it leaves me wanting a little bit more. But great job. I think it's really a lovely, lovely piece.
Awesome. Cool. And Patricia, what did you think of Peggy's piece?
Yeah, I had some of the same points. It would have been nice to have an outer shape that related to her elements, and a little more variety maybe in wire, or a bit of, like you were saying, a bit of color would have enhanced it, I thought. But yeah, beautiful. Again, always a good job, and all the little individual pieces were very cute, all put together.
Hi Heather. Okay, here's my week 4 challenge. I'll live across the map. I made a mobile of hot air balloons. There's 5 of them. They're balanced pretty good. Gotta admit I didn't like this challenge too much. It was taking me way too long.
So next we have Leslie, who did the mobile. Patricia, why don't you start with Leslie's?
Yeah, her shapes were beautiful, and the balloons were very balloony, and it hung very nicely, the mobile. Yeah, and she did have a little variety on each balloon, and yeah, again, great idea. They all have such good ideas. Yeah, so I felt she did a good job, although she did say she struggled with the theme.
Yeah, I think she said she would have liked to have more time, and especially with an
Okay.
ambitious piece like that, I can
Yeah.
totally see that.
Yeah, the size was very nice. It was a nice big size.
Yeah, cool. And Laura, what did you think of Leslie's mobile?
I think your balloons were super cute. And your mobile was actually really well balanced, which can be a challenge. That could be a difficult thing to achieve successfully. So nicely done there for sure. And I know that you said you struggled with some of the components that you wanted to develop for it. So I would just say, you know what, finish the piece. You know, keep working on it, and you know, it sometimes we have to do things over and over and over before we get to where we want to be. So definitely continue to develop it because it's super cool. So yeah, nicely done. I love it.
Yeah, I agree with you about like continuing the piece, or because sometimes I'll do a piece and then I'll just put it at the side and go back to it and either work on the same one or do another iteration of it. But yeah, I was super impressed with just the structure of the mobile. It balanced really well. I've made mobiles before. It's not easy for sure. On first glance, I didn't actually see that they were balloons before I listened to the video. I actually thought they were light bulbs at first, but that was just like my brain going to a shape that I'm familiar with. But once she said that, I'm like, oh yeah, of course. So in that sense, it totally fit the theme. You know, you can just imagine, you know, hot air balloons going around the world. It fits super well with the theme. And yeah, I would just give the same advice. Maybe just work it a little more. For sure, we have 1 week, you know, restrictions on, or less than a week people have to create these pieces. So understandable, you know, if you have a more ambitious idea, just, you know, maybe you can't get to the point where you want, but she's certainly on a great path with this one. I really, really enjoyed it. So next we have Amber, and Amber writes, I chose to make a large rendition of a compass rose that you find on a map key to represent all over the map. I chose to decorate it with sun and moon dangles, plus a lotus motif and Swarovski crystals. There are amethyst facets spring set on the moon and sun dangles. In the center of the compass rose, I attached a flashy labradorite in a Viking weave bezel. I hammered the NSEW for added interest and depth. The tips of the compass poles are each tipped with a freshwater pearl. Yes, so Amber's piece is stunning. I really thought it was so incredibly well made. I love her letters around the outside. They look really, they're nicely made. They're very decorative. The piece in the middle really brings your eye in, and it's really beautifully made, beautifully put together with a variety of wires as well. And as a sun catcher, it works like super well. Like it's really, and it's a decent, you know, it's a nice size too. So I really enjoyed Amber's piece. I thought it was beautiful and totally fit the theme. Yeah. And Patricia, what did you think of Amber's piece?
Yeah, again, beautifully done. I think the spherical shape, it's a very strong shape, and I think most people find it attractive to look at. You know, it really draws you in, and more so because of that beautiful stone she had in the center. I was very drawn into that. So yeah, I thought it was beautiful, great idea, and yeah, well done.
Nice, nice. And Laura, what did you think of Amber's piece?
I really love how we have 2 contestants that took the same theme and they have ended up being completely unique to the makers, to the artists. And with Amber's, looking at that stone in the center, right away my brain went to North Star, which fits in so nicely with that, right? And yeah, I think it was just a lovely, lovely piece. Maybe a little bit more detail worked in around the circle, perhaps. But it's really quite lovely. So nicely done, Amber. I think you did a great job.
Amazing. Okay, guys, so now is the hard part. Well, actually, this part isn't as hard as the second part we have to do. We're going to choose a winner. So, of course, everybody is a winner, and all the submissions this weekend for all the weeks have been amazing. Like, I'm truly blown away by people's interpretation of the theme, the quality of the work, the imagination. Yeah, it's really been an incredible, incredible journey. But alas, we do choose one winner and one person who will be going home. And the person going home will hopefully continue to participate in the Facebook event page. And don't forget, viewers can participate as well. If you make all 8 challenges from the Live Wires for the Win, you'll be eligible to win a random draw for all kinds of amazing prizes by Beadalon and from my Etsy shop and all kinds of things as well. So we'll get a link up the Live Wires for the Win Facebook page below, and you guys can participate. So in the top 3, not necessarily in any order, I'll just put them out there. I really loved Amber's piece. I love the beauty of it, the construction of it. It was definitely a really beautiful, well-made piece. Amy's was brilliant imagination. I would totally play that game. I thought it was super fun. I always love Amy's ideas. And also Melody. I loved her bracelet. I thought it was unique, something different, and yeah, and very, very personal and meaningful as well. So yeah. And Laura, which were your top 3?
As you noted, in no particular order here. Linda's really resonated with me. It was likely that flip-flop.
Won you with the flip-flop.
Well, I just found it very irresistible. It was it just conveyed the tropics to me. It just conveyed warm environment, and I thought it was quite lovely. Nice. And then Melodies, well, having to travel to see family members resonates with me as well. And yeah, I just thought her charms were super cute. The weave on her bracelet, and as you had noted, that it was a little bit different, right? It was a piece of jewelry. So that was I quite enjoyed that as well. So then Amber would be another choice. And I just think the compass is beautiful. And as I said, I was drawn straight to that stone in the center, made me think of the North Star. And it was just a very well designed and put together piece.
Nice. Awesome. And Patricia, top 3.
I only had top 2.
It's fine.
Like I said, I found this one more difficult. Like in other challenges, sometimes one has really stood out or 2. This one, I didn't find that was the case so much. So my top choice was Tim. Okay. And again, that's based on his body of beautiful work every week a bit too, and his distinct style. And my second choice was Melody's charm bracelet.
Wow. Okay. So there we have a consensus, guys. It's Melody. Yay, Melody, the winner of this week's challenge. Now I totally want to make one of those charm bracelets too. It's super fun. I love that, the challenge of making like little tiny 3-dimensional charms, so cool. So congratulations, Melody. Congratulations to everybody, because everybody's work was amazing. And now comes the hardest part. Like, this is really the most difficult part, but just because it's the nature of the challenge, we do have to get it down to one person eventually. And we just have to we just have to go for it. Okay, so now comes the difficult part where we have to choose one person that we feel didn't quite meet the challenge this week and will be going home, but can certainly keep participating in the Facebook event page. I'm going to give the 3 that I'm considering, and then you guys can follow suit and we'll make a decision based on that. So the 3 that I have considering to go home are Tim, only because I found that his piece was a little bit similar to previous pieces, and I would like to see sort of a little bit more variety, but I thought his piece was beautiful, but maybe not as imaginative as some of the other pieces. Linda, only because of the Mickey Mouse, it threw me off a little bit. I understand that it's sort of part of the whole concept of Florida, but I found it overpowered the piece a little bit. And so maybe if it was a little more stylized or just that it didn't draw it might even be a personal like thing in my brain that just kind of my eye went right there. But yeah, that would be the next one. And then Leslie, only because I kind of felt her pain that she didn't feel like it was a finished piece. And even though she did amazing on the mobile aspect, I think it was incredibly ambitious of her, and she did a great job on it. And hopefully she will definitely continue to explore the piece as well. So yeah, so those were my 3. So Patricia, which were the 3, or if there were 3 that you were considering to go home?
Linda was in my bottom choices. So was Amy.
Okay.
And I guess I know her work is always very direct, but I guess the cards were just so roughly done.
Okay,
I mean,
yes.
I know her work is always, from the heart, but
Yes.
I felt, So Amy, Linda, and I guess either, again, it was really close between Peggy and Leslie. So I had a hard time this week choosing.
It's hard. Yeah, no, it definitely is hard.
And I never want anyone to go home.
I know. And that's why I really hope everybody's going to keep continuing and sharing the work in the Facebook page, because it's just for fun. And I think people realize that's the nature of the challenge, and just keep sharing your beautiful work for sure. And Laura, which 3 were you considering?
Well, this was hard. It was way more difficult than what I anticipated it would be. However, when looking at Peggy's design, I felt that it was incomplete in the sense that it just called for something just a little bit more. And then with Leslie's as well, and unfortunately she said she ran out of time, and unfortunately that's just the way that it goes sometimes, right? And but I really feel with more time she'll really be able to really complete it and make it truly beautiful, truly what she wanted it to be. But nicely done, everybody. I'm truly impressed by what you've presented here.
So I guess by consensus, it's going to be Leslie. Leslie, you did an amazing job. It was like super ambitious to do the mobile. I really love the concept. Please keep us informed with if you continue on that piece. And I really hope you're going to continue sharing your work and participating in the challenges on Facebook. And everybody's a winner. You guys have been doing such incredible work. It's kudos to everybody. And so keep tuning in every week and keep participating in the challenges. Thank you, Laura, so much for being a guest judge this week. It was wonderful to see you. I love your sunny studio. It's a little ray of sunshine to start my day. And Patricia, thank you for taking time out of your vacation to continue to help with the judging. Everybody, we'll see you next time. And thanks for tuning in to Livewires for the Win.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Livewires for the Win. Be sure to tune in each week and participate in the challenges on our Facebook event page. If you complete all 8 challenges based on the weekly themes, you will be eligible to win all kinds of great prizes from Beadalon. Details are in the description below underneath the video.